Beep, 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 beep.
Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Data to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording and intro music, and hi there, welcome to the Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM, that's Senior Certified Professional Midwife. I sometimes forget, I just got promoted.
Every single time you forget senior.
No, well, it's
and you have to go back.
And we are the Sexperts.
No, I didn't introduce myself yet.
Well, everybody knows who you are.
For those who are just tuning in for the first time, I'm Delilah Haydair, Government Cheese Inspector.
Government cheese and... Oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for your loss.
My loss?
You're furloughed right now.
No, for some reason we're funded.
Okay, we'll get into that in a little bit. I really want to know why you're
the president
funded.
just loves cheese.
And why nobody else in the world isn't funded. But we're coming to you live right now. And I'm just going to introduce the show really briefly. Again, we have a lot of fans from all around the world. We are the Sexperts. We introduce a different controversial sex topic every week from a different recording studio or recording location. We're actually in a studio right now. We're in the Hollywood Studios, California. Yeah, we're
The Hollywood Studios.
The Hollywood Studios.
There's only one studio out here.
No, yeah, I mean that's where we are. We've really been taking the sun. We walked down the Walk of Fame earlier with all the stars on it.
You've been taking the sun. I have one of those hats with an umbrella on the head, and I'm still pale as I was when I got here.
And yeah, our topic of the day, which is very interesting because a lot of people have been confusing, work with pleasure and the work-home life balance. They're not really doing very well. There's this saying, there's NSFW. You know what that stands for?
Not safe for work.
Not safe for work. So now we're going to tell you what is safe for work. Today's topic of the day is fuck safe for work. That's FSFW. So we're going to go over the things that at work you can talk about sexually, which there's very few. It may be a short episode, but we're going to get to them.
Well, it's perfect timing because I think the government shutdown is going to end pretty soon, and I'm going to have people to talk to.
But before we get to our topic of the day, which is fuck safe for work, and it's hard to say, let's introduce our guest of the week. Yeah, welcome. Hi there.
Hello. Hey. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you so much. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello. My name is Jonathan Winters, but my friends just call me Johnny Nectarine.
Johnny Nectarine.
And
love it.
I have been packing produce at a facility in Mechanicsville, Virginia for many, many years.
That is so cool. Johnny Tangerine.
Johnny Tangerine.
That is such a cool nickname, and it's appropriate, too. Like, sometimes people have nicknames like, hey, my name's Johnny Two Blades. And you're like, oh, why do they call you Johnny Two Blades? It's like, it's just a nickname. But your nickname...
I worry that your nickname's too cool, and people think you're like, you're affiliated with Mob or something like that.
No, I'm just really good at packing nectarine.
Tell us about your technique. What makes you so good about packing nectarines?
Well, depending on the size of the nectarine, it depends on how many I can pack at a time.
Okay.
Regular size nectarines. Regular size, we get good 2 or 3 of them in one hand, do them real quick this way.
Wow, and this is a podcast. We don't have video.
If they're smaller,
you could see his hands
if they're smaller, then 4 or 5 of them at a time.
Yeah, and this is great.
And depending on the season and what time of year it is, it'll depend on the size of the fruit.
Well, I don't have to tell you this because you're Johnny Tangerine. But there's 2 factors. Not just the size of the tangerine, but it's also the size of the hand. Smallest tangerine in the country. I'm only getting 1 in here.
Delilah, you have such small hands. And thank you, Johnny Tangerine, for bringing a whole bunch of tangerines with you, which is great. You must have traveled all the way across the country with these in tow.
Yeah, the whole car smelled like citrus the whole way here.
That's not necessarily...
You drove from Mechanicsville.
Yeah, all the way to Hollywood, California.
Wow, have you been here in Hollywood
Johnny
before?
Tangerine's intense.
Yeah, no, I hadn't.
Yeah.
Imagine my surprise when I found out they had their own citrus here.
Yeah, that is great. Hopefully you don't... Maybe you can pick up...
I would market it as Virginia citrus, though. They don't have Virginia citrus out here.
No.
Sweet Virginia citrus.
Yeah, all that. Oh,
Virginia citrus is incredibly rare.
In California.
Especially in California.
You might want to check out some of the tips. Maybe somebody can teach... I mean, I know you're Johnny Tangerine, but maybe someone here can teach you a few tips about citrus.
How to label your citrus, how to not label your citrus, what's appropriate for labeling your citrus and what's not appropriate.
Because you're more about the packing side, right? Is that
correct?
What you said? Okay, yeah. So labeling...
By the time the teens get to us, they've already been labeled.
Did you abbreviate tangerines by calling them
Correct.
teens? The teens. Okay.
That's an industry term. Teens.
Everybody has their own industry these days. Which, speaking of industry, brings me to the topic of the day. I want to hear your perspective, Johnny Tangerine. Our topic of the day is fuck safe for work. What is fuck safe for work?
But before we get to that, are there any fruits that are dangerous to pack?
Pineapples. They're spiky. You grab them, they hurt sometimes.
That goes to figure.
And kiwano melons. Have you ever seen a kiwano melon?
No.
It's also called a horny melon. It looks like a little orange football with spikes on it.
A little?
You know what would be
Google it.
You know what would be an awful nickname?
What?
Johnny Kimono Melon.
That would be horrible. That would
Wait,
be a horrible
kimono
nickname.
melon?
I don't know what he said.
Kiwano melon.
Kiwano melon.
Kiwano.
Kiwano. Kiwano melon. Johnny Kiwano actually sounds kind of cool.
I like that.
If your first name's Johnny, it's a real. If your first name's Johnny, it's a real advantage to nicknames because, like Johnny, anything.
It just works.
Johnny Boom Boom.
Johnny Two Feathers.
Johnny Drumstick.
Johnny Drumstick.
Got a buddy named Johnny Dumpstrick. Works at the Purdue plant.
That figures.
Johnny Dump Truck. What does he do? He works garbage. Wait, what would our Johnny names be?
Johnny In and Out. Johnny Long Time.
Johnny Long Time. God, okay, you're Johnny In and Out. I don't know what I want to be. Johnny Sexy. Is that good?
That's not great.
Oh, Johnny
Porn Stash.
Johnny Porn Stash.
I like Johnny Porn Stash.
Johnny Porn Stash. I bet. I mean, that's one of the things that I learned coming out here at Hollywood, California. There are a lot of porn actors just walking around everywhere. I can't tell who's a porn actor and who's not.
What would Mildred be? And Mildred is his wife that lives in an iron lung.
Would you still call her Mildred something, Mildredy, or Johnny something?
Johnny
Iron Lung. I mean, that's easy, right?
All right, that works. I was thinking Johnny Rust Belt.
Yeah. But she's doing a lot better. You know?
She is.
Yeah.
You really did a good job with the
resuscitation, recuperation.
And the Rust-Olean.
Renovation.
Rust-Olean.
No, she's out of the iron lung. She likes to sleep in it. She because she was in an iron lung for at least 25 years.
She told me you're a loud snorer, and if she crawls up back in that iron lung, she doesn't hear you.
She said she just got used to iron. She told you I snore?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mildred, if you're listening to this, we have to have...
You know what's good for snoring?
What's that?
Tangerine.
Wait, what?
Explain.
Explain, please.
The citrus. The acidity in the tangerine coats your vocal cords and then nullifies the sound of them vibrating together when you snore.
You just have to eat one before you go to bed.
Just eat one before you go to bed.
Wow.
I was picturing like a tangerine ball gag.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Or even just drink the juice.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a thing. Why isn't there tangerine juice? Why do orange?
There should be.
Why do oranges have the monopoly on the juice industry?
Is that a thing where it's like, hot dogs are made out of a bunch of other meats, like just an amalgamation of like hoof and like snout and like
Ear.
dick and ear? Maybe orange juice is like all kinds of citrus, like tangerine,
Johnny Hot Dog.
tangectolo. It's it's Johnny Hot Dog. Maybe that should be mine, Johnny Hot Dog. How I love you. All right. Well,
yeah. Well, anyways, that's interesting. It's like we eat certain animals, we don't eat other animals. We juice certain citrus fruits, and we don't juice other citrus fruits.
Speaking of boring water cooler conversations, let's get to our topic of the day.
Yeah, buddy, I gotta go back to work. You keep talking about that juice.
Let's get to fuck safe for work. So a lot of people are confused. What
do
can
have
you
to
bring
wear
up?
special gloves or anything?
On occasion, yes, we do wear special
just
gloves.
occasion.
Yes.
What occasions?
When
weekends?
when we're handling the spikier of the fruits.
Ah, okay.
Or things we're allergic to.
You're Johnny.
I happen to be allergic to coconut skins.
Are you serious?
Yes, the powder on the coconut skins irritates my hands.
But you can still rub
and it
cocoa
slows
butter.
down my tangerine productivity. Say again?
You can still rub cocoa. I was gonna say no. Cocoa butter isn't coconuts, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No. What about coconut milk? You can drink coconut milk.
You
Right?
could, but it's gross.
And it's probably made up an amalgamation of like
all different types of coconuts.
Yeah.
It's just all the worst parts of the coconut.
The like
The
leaves.
shell and the leaf.
The snout.
Does a coconut have
The
a leaf?
tree bark.
Yeah. The snout.
The snout.
I
Coconut
know all
snout.
about it because I got a friend named Johnny Coconut.
Talk to you about. Okay, I am very curious. Talk to us about why are you not flurried? Is it flurried?
Furloughed.
Furloughed. Yeah, thank you, Johnny Tangerine. Why are you not furloughed? You're a cheese worker, government cheese worker.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's a couple things. One is the cheese lobby is very strong.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin has some very senior members of Congress. Some outgoing. Gonna miss you.
Wait, Scott Walker?
Good looking out. No, the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan.
Oh, right. Yeah, that douche.
He has been a blessing to the cheese industry.
Oh, okay.
But mainly, I think it's just so many Americans depend on government cheese, and so it's we're kind of a sacred cow.
So I'm glad both of you here are right now, and you brought tangerines and you brought cheese. So now we're going to have a little contest. We're going to see who can pack as much cheese or as much tangerines as possible.
Are we going by weight or by cubic volume?
What do you guys think is fair? I want to be fair to both of you.
Well, by
both
count,
your trades.
because if he counts, if it's per slice versus...
Oh, okay. So we'll go cubit zirconium then. Okay. So, all right. So here is your box. There you go, Johnny Tangerine. Here is your box. Johnny...
Can you call me Johnny...
Johnny Brie, Johnny Rind, Johnny Cheese Rind, Johnny
Gouda.
Johnny Gouda. You are Johnny on the spot with those Johnnies. I got that one. Okay, so here we go. And there are your tangerines. And there. Now, I'm going to warn you, at some point, they're not all tangerines. There's going to be some surprises. Same thing with you. I put some surprises in the cheese.
You...
All right, here we go. On your mark.
Well, can you...
yeah.
I just need to know, like, are we just racing into it, or do we do one at a time and find out if it's a surprise or not?
Sorry, I didn't set this up very good. So about a quarter of a yard away from you is a box. And next to you is a stack of cheese. Same thing, Johnny Tangerine. So when I say on your mark, set, go, you run over to the box. It's kind of like the, what is that, the meter dash?
The shuttle run.
Shuttle run. Yeah, shuttle run. So this is the tangerine and the cheese shuttle run.
Back in middle school, they called me Johnny Shuttle Run.
Okay, here we go.
They called me Johnny Asthmatic. I never could do the shuttle run.
Oh, no. On your mark. Get set. Go. All right. And
all right.
It's Johnny Tangerine. Oh, my God.
Oh, you weren't kidding. There are some surprises in
Look
here.
at that. Oh, my God.
Some of these tangerines are rotten.
Oh, God.
That's
Yeah, there you
disgusting.
go. Oh, wait.
You
No.
find a lot of
Delilah's cheating. He's actually doing, like,
What are you doing?
foul shots.
What are you doing?
He's doing foul shots. You have to run to it.
You can't
he's
block
not-
my shot.
He's Dikembe Mutombo.
The only sports reference you've ever made, and you've made it 4 times.
What happens when you run out of tangerines?
Oh, he's all out of tangerines. You have to bring the box back to me. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's neck to neck, nose to nose. Oh.
Hurry up, Johnny Gouda.
That's it. Johnny Tangerine won.
I've been waiting for you to finish.
So,
How did he run faster than I threw?
I even peeled the tangerines while I waited for you to wrap it up.
So I'm really sorry. I wish I had known ahead of time about your coconut allergy. I'm really sorry. That was one of your surprises. I put a coconut
noticed.
in there.
Yeah, I can tell by the incredible swelling.
Yeah.
That's
I thought
happening
you
in my
just,
hands
just out of breath.
And talk to me about your surprises, Delilah.
Well, my surprises were plentiful.
Go through after the first stack. What'd you find?
You had carved into one of the slices of cheese, "I hate Delilah."
See, that was a mental block. You know, I put a physical barrier in Johnny Tangerine's barriers, a mental barrier in yours. How did that make you feel?
I felt sad from a couple different angles. One, you're my best friend, and I wouldn't want to think that you really hated me. And 2, that was a perfectly good slice of cheese.
Yeah, we can't use
And
that.
in these times, we can't just be throwing cheese away.
All right. Well, what other berries did you have over there? What did I put in yours?
Besides the coconut, I realized some of the tangerines were also rotten and spoiled, which made all the other tangerines slippery and made it harder to hold on to them.
And I saw that you could actually sense that. Like you had your and by the way, Johnny Tangerine had his eyes closed the entire time, and he could just
Bird
sense.
box.
I wish I'd had. I wish I'd had.
Box in it.
I wish I'd had my eyes closed. I wouldn't have seen that picture of my ex-wife taped to that slice of cheese.
Yeah, and again, that was a theme. All of Johnny Tangerine's were physical barriers, and all of yours were mental. I was trying to get in your head, Delilah. And how did that make you feel?
I'm kind of struggling right now to think that like our relationship's kind of a fraud. And
Your ex-wife, or
well, maybe every relationship in my life. Maybe I'm not Johnny Popular like I thought I was. But it was that last one.
Yeah.
That last surprise.
Yeah.
Why'd you carve an entire letter from my parents about their disappointment in me?
It was actually easier than I thought. I went to Cold Stone Creamery, and you know how they make custom like cakes, like based on what you want in the icing. I brought a picture of that letter into them, and I was like, I know this is kind of out of your wheelhouse, but could you carve this into a cheese? And they're like, yeah, sure. Those 18-year-olds, they'll do anything for a tip.
They won't make a gay couple a cake. They'll carve my parents.
Johnny Cold
blasting me. Johnny
Coldstone.
That's just
Johnny Cold-Blooded Stone.
Cold.
Have you ever had any special requests that really kind of threw you for a loop in the old citrus packing industry?
Yeah, we're going to need you to throw that in a minivan this week.
Yeah, we had a guy come in. He had just seen the 1980s Sprite commercial and thought a lemon was a real thing. That was frustrating.
So what did he want you to do for him?
He expected us to produce a crossbred lemon lime fruit bearing tree.
Now I know that's probably impossible, but
we suggested just here's some lemons and here's some limes, just mix it, but he refused.
I would too.
He wasn't having
when you
it.
have a dream, you have a dream. What is your dream?
He had a dream.
What is your dream? Because I know you're very good at packing tangerines, but do you ever aspire to do something else?
Grapefruit. I want to be a grapefruit packer so bad.
Why?
So bad. Because
Why
they're
is
so
that?
much bigger. They're so much bigger. It's one thing to do 3 or 4 at a time. It's much more difficult to only be able to do 1 at a time. You ever seen a grapefruit in comparison to a tangerine?
I've only seen them on a box of orange juice.
I'd like to graduate to be Johnny Grapefruit.
My grandmother used to describe grapefruits to me, but I never saw one.
So
they're almost extinct.
Are you working towards that? Are you training yourself somehow?
I have been.
Speaking of working towards...
Oh, working towards that. Yeah, let's get to our topic of the day, which is fuck safe for work. But actually, I want to get back to your question. No, my question. Are you working towards it? Are you training?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What I do is I tape my fingers together so that my hand feels smaller. And I practice with grapefruits. But being that, like I said, grapefruit are rare...
If you ever want to borrow
it's an
my
expensive
hands.
thing to practice.
Yeah, I was.
You do have very dainty hands, Delilah.
One man's tangerines, another man's grapefruit.
Wow. Thank God. Wow, we're just having.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my knuckles. It's long-winded for knuckles, but I'm doing it.
It'd have to go all the way up your arm. Okay, yeah. Let's get to our topic of the day.
Really small font.
Fuck safe for work. Fuck safe for work. I like that. I'm looking at the time. We actually have to go on a Hollywood Studios tour because we already put a down payment on the tour bus.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I'm really
if I don't
sorry.
see Fran Drescher's star on the Walk of Fame,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
I am so sorry we didn't get to talk about our topic of the day, but thank you so much for coming on the show,
Thanks
Johnny
for having me
Tangerine.
on the show.
You know, we honestly haven't had a citrus. We've had close to citrus packers, but we haven't had specifically a tangerine packer before. Anything that you want to plug?
We've had many citrus packers. First tangerine packer.
Anything you want to plug? A book coming out? Any enterprises that you want to talk about?
Yes, I just released a memoir called "Please Be Careful, Don't Squeeze Me." It's about my journey from just being a lowly lime packer through where I'm at now in my tangerine
And that one day you'll get up to grapefruit.
And one day I will be Johnny Grapefruit. I promise.
You are aspiring. Thank you so much.
Don't squeeze me, because I'm close to the edge.
All right, that's it for the Sexperts. My name is Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
And my name is Johnny In and Out. And I'm keeping that cheese safe for you, girl.
See you sex time.
Thanks, guys.
Data to do, it's simply true. We're the Sexperts.
That's our show. If you like what you heard and you think it was worth $1, join the official Sexperts fan club at patreon.com/Sexperts podcast. A special thanks to the Push Comedy Theater and all of our supporters. Bye-bye.